the Everyman Radio podcast.
New music.
We ran wild through every season, lit a fire to warm the world. A love so easy to believe in. You're saying I'm your favorite girl. We were open and unwritten. All I see is all you are. Every day a new beginning, waking up inside your arms. And I'm still holding on. Every light that's faded once burned so bright we chased it farther than we ever thought we could go. Even when time's changing, you're the one I've waited all my life to get to know. This oh, you're looking out the window. How could anyone understand what you're seeing with your eyes closed? But if you open up your head, I could give you all I offer. The parts of me that see you through. Every winter and your summers, burning red or blazing blue. Every light that's faded once burned so bright we chased it farther than we ever thought we could go. Even when time's changing, you're the one I've waited all my life to get to know. How could I ever? Every light that's faded once burned so bright we chased it farther than we ever thought we could go. And even when time's changing, you're the one I've waited all my life to get to know.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hi, Sonja van Ede.
Hi.
Welcome to Everyman Radio.
Hi, how are you? Nice to be in your program. Thank you for inviting me.
It's lovely to have a guest such as yourself.
Thank you.
And I do mean it. I do enjoy all of the guests we speak to. But yourself is you're slightly different to our regular guests because of the work that you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, it's something that is very, very real. I'm not saying that the other guests aren't real, but I mean, just very current and very important. So, just to start off, Sonja, please tell us exactly it is what you do.
Okay, well, I'm a writer, independent journalist, and not for the mainstream media, because you know how it works these days. If you write the opposite or you don't agree, then you have no chance to write any article for them. So I started off actually 10 years ago when the war in Syria started. I started to investigate. I went over to Syria, to Lebanon, and I found a whole different truth as what we are reading in the regular newspaper, but that's an old story, I think. But I think it's getting worse day by day. It's not only Syria now, it's also Europe, US. It's a big theater, you can say, of fake news, propaganda, I would call it. We are in a sort of hybrid war, and the propaganda is getting so immense that it's unbelievable. So I'm trying to agitate about it. I'm trying to write what's really going on. And sometimes it's hard because, you know, you have different sorts of truth. The one says this, the other one says that. But I always try to combine it and try to find the middle way, the truth for the left, for the right, for whatever, but I'm trying to find the truth. That's the main thing.
No, you cannot report the truth. You cannot tell people the truth because...
No, I try to, but okay, then you're kicked out of YouTube, you're kicked out of Facebook, or... So I try to write it in a way that they, maybe sensible people think, okay, that this might be the truth, but in a way that sometimes they won't kick me off, but anyway, they do.
Yeah, I do know what you mean, and I just I find that so difficult to work with. Really, you kind of. So, as a what am I?
A radio reporter, radio man.
Yeah, okay. But I meant more terms of in someone very interested in the truth and following the truth. So like yourself, it's actually very similar timing 10 years ago. Yeah. I was living in Oman in the Middle East.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And at that time, Israel were
started.
Well,
I know, it's a long story.
It wasn't, so started a wave of their genocide.
Yeah, like you do,
of the Palestinians. And so for me at that time, I was hearing Western news from the BBC.
CNN, BBC.
And then at the same time in Oman watching press TV. I'm trying to think.
Russia Today.
Yes.
Was it that already 10 years ago? Yes, it was 10, 11 years ago. Yeah. Press TV, Russia Today, and Syria agency I started to read also. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I had that moment.
Yeah.
Well, it was hang about.
Yeah.
the BBC are lying to me.
Exactly.
And I realised, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I've been lied to since birth. And everything they've told me is completely not true.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's unbelievable what they do. It's what I discovered in Syria with the white helmets, with how they, the Russians, there's always the Russians who do it. It's unbelievable what they do. But especially Syria, Assad is bombing his own people. He is murdering the children of Syria. And it's crazy, really. I was there and everybody, not everybody, but the majority told me, it's not Assad, it's not a war. It's a war from outside. It's not a war from inside. And it's unbelievable. And they're still telling us these lies day in, day out. It's unbelievable. And it makes you wonder, what are they doing, Just the lies continue, but they get so big. It's no way out for them, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they've started on this track and just feel they have to continue just repeating. So I equate it to fascism and the Nazis. I know I'm not the only one.
Goebbels, he was great. He was a big Nazi propagandist. And maybe they still fascism is still here in Europe. You can still see it in the government everywhere. Especially I live in Germany at the moment. You can still see it. It's there. Every day it's there. Even they call it democracy, of course.
Oh,
that's a new word. Yeah, it makes you.
Yeah.
It makes you feel horrible. Yeah, but that's what I think. The lies got so big, we're now at a sort of crossroad. Do we continue? It's the same for us human beings. Do we continue in this way, or we have now wars? We have a pandemic, and the wars are intensifying. In Western Europe against Russia, against the US. They have their own war, the civil war, color revolution. And what are we going to do now? Because we are going to get poor, the normal people. That's what they tell us, Economic collapse because we have the pandemic. So where are we going? That's the crossroad, what I meant with that article. What is it, We don't know. Where is it going to end? I hope good, but I'm afraid not.
Well, I'll fix it. I'm just going to finish my cup of tea. I don't know. I just find it astonishing.
Yeah.
Just the numbers of people who have fallen for the lies and then start defending the lies. I suppose the example that I come into daily contact with is about COVID.
Yeah.
Wearing masks, people wearing masks.
Yeah.
But you can't tell them what you're doing is actually causing you harm. But you can't actually directly say to someone, no, you're wrong, you've been lied to, take your mask off, grow up, grow some.
Yeah, I know it's
grow a backbone.
Very difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult. Like in Germany, the majority of the people follow the leader, we can say. So they wear their mask. If you go to the supermarket, you have some groups now that argue it's not healthy, and they are doubting the whole pandemic. In the Netherlands, where I'm from originally, it's now getting tough because they haven't had these masks, but you can speak. We have now a sort of little revolution there because the farmers are in uprising. We have some groups, even some TV channel reporters. They are now in another group. start to rise up against the government. We have the same as in the US. We have this Black Matters Lives thing. But all these things we have now in the Netherlands. It's going crazy every day. If you look at politics, you follow a debate. It's crazy. It's like a school, arguing, quarreling with each other. It's crazy. And the people, still facing this pandemic.
Which, of course, well,
Mm-hmm.
I say that. I think I have seen you touch on it. Well, from what I've read, it's the biggest lie that we've ever had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just very depressing.
Yeah, I know. It's very depressing because in the beginning everybody thought, oh, maybe it's a bioweapon, because it's China, it's US, it's all these laboratories. But okay, I think myself, something went wrong maybe in a lab somewhere, and could be in Wuhan, it could be the US, could be China, I don't know. We cannot find out easily, But it wasn't so bad as we all thought, maybe, as what the governments told us. Oh, millions of people are going to die, and oh, it's terrible, and even worse than the Second World War, Merkel told us here. But yeah, okay, when you see the figures, it's like a bad flu pandemic.
Yeah. The most encouraging thing I read about it was written by the researcher author Laura Knight-Yachik, connected with SOTT.net, SOTT. And I think it was herself or another article that posed the question, is the reason for the lockdown because something did go very wrong with this COVID virus that actually has a very positive effect on people that, if I'm phrasing it correctly, opens their mind. So it does something I don't really understand, but I think it was a plausible suggestion that the reason for the very draconian lockdown and harsh measures is because the PTB, powers that be, are genuinely wanting to eradicate this virus because somewhere along the line, it actually does help people wake up to reality. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think the other reason from the government side or deep state or whatever you might call it, it's the reset of the economy. It's Agenda 2030. It's already in work. It's working since 1 or 2 years, and yes, they have to implement this. And what's better way to implement when there is a lockdown? Because you can go ahead with all your projects, what you want to do. You can do it. So that's what they are doing. You see it every day on the news. Oh, it's about the climate. We should do this. We should do that. It's happening. That's what I can see.
Yeah, and it's amazing how it all ties in together.
Yeah.
It seems so implausible how everything seems connected.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
That's why they used the lockdown for this, or it was the plan to use it because of the big reset, that's what they call it at the World Economic Forum. They wanted to implement the big reset 2020. So that's what's going on. That's what we see. We see all this talking about artificial intelligence. We see about Germany is a country where internet is very bad, but all of a sudden we get everywhere 5G, everywhere is speeding up, everything. So that's why it's used for that. And many people get laid off of their normal jobs. They don't need you anymore. So you see it happening. People can say, oh, you are a conspiracy thinker or whatever, but you can see it. You can see it when you watch their propaganda TV, you can see it happening every day. So
yeah, and I find it very encouraging that more people, I'm saying more people, I hope more people, but I think there is, people are more people are waking up and thinking, hang about, something isn't right here. And in your article, Will Humanity Prosper or Perish?
Yeah.
That is on oneworld.press website.
Yeah, One World Press, yeah.
One World Press. You asked those questions and put some evidence into it. I was interested by one of the comments you had, actually. It was a question from Monia Hamza. In the beginning of your article, you mentioned the elite whom apparently run things in the Western world. Could you specify them? Who are they? Are they merely an elite in the deep state or shadow government, or maybe one ought to think further up towards a tiny oligarch of billionaires who print currencies for central banks? I don't know. I thought that was a good question.
Yeah, I think it's two ways. It is the big multinationals who are behind it, like in the Netherlands, it's Shell. You know, it's a big influence. That's the elite, that's the part of the deep state, but also the deep state is, of course, these billionaires like Soros, Gates. I mean, the whole EU is funded nearly by Soros. If you look at the so-called left parties, if you look at the NGOs, if you look at Human Rights Watch, Black Lives Matter, and so on, it's all sponsored by, you know, George Soros' organizations. And also the elite is like all the politicians in the Netherlands who become, when they become a politician or when they are elected, their first job was at Shell, you know. So
Sorry,
Shell, the oil company.
Say that again, please. Their first job was what?
With Shell, the oil company.
Oh.
You know, the Dutch Shell. So before they got elected, they were working at Shell, or some of them who are really get a high position, who will become a minister or whatever, they will go to this Bilderberg group. Have you heard of it? I'm sure you have.
The Bilderbergs.
The Bilderbergs, yes. That's actually founded by the Prince of the Netherlands, Prince Bernhard, who was an ex-Nazi, who founded the Bilderberg Group, and every year they have a meeting and they discuss the problems of the world. And you can see every year one politician who is maybe at a low position, maybe Secretary of State or something, you know, oh, next year this one will be important for Dutch politics. He will be a minister of so and so on, maybe prime minister if they were lucky, but okay, Rutte is there for a long time, so they're not lucky. But you can see how it works. If you look at it clearly, you can see it. And this is, to my opinion, the elite. You have the elite of politicians, but they are just the puppets. And behind them are the big companies, the big billionaires like Soros, Gates. That's what it is. That's the deep state, according to my idea here in Europe. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just amazing.
Really. Yeah, it's working like that. We have, for instance, a prime minister vice prime minister. I wrote an article about him, and his brother is working or was working with these big pharma companies sponsored by Gates.
Oh.
And now he's speaking every day on TV. We need a vaccine. We need a vaccine. We need vaccinations. Otherwise, you know. So do you see the connection? He's in politics. His brother is working at a big pharma company, and of course they tell you no, it's not true, and you know. But we know, you can, if you look clearly, you see all the connections. That's how it works. I mean, the US most likely is more worse, or the UK. I don't know about that, but Europe for sure. That's the deep state in Europe.
Yeah, well, I think the UK has really always been, well, after our empire crumbled.
British Empire. The Schiller is, but they still are maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we still would believe we have an empire, but we have the Commonwealth. So a little group of, I don't know, some countries who are still ensnared to British rule, and we take them jogging together. So we go running and make them do win races. So sort of like Commonwealth Olympic type things. Competitions, that type of thing. I don't know. And England is, well, I think really is always it has become the lapdog really of America. So it just really does repeat and support whatever the president is saying. I think, which was very apparent during the Gulf War.
Yeah.
We had Tony Blair.
Iraq. Tony Blair, yes, together with Bush.
Yes.
Yeah, they destroyed Iraq, Yeah, all for democracy, of course.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's all for democracy. Bring the people a happy life.
Yeah.
That's,
Oh, yeah. It's... I just can't believe how long it is going on for, and you're right when you say it's escalating now. It all seems to be coming to a head right now. We're in a very exciting, depressing, annoying, irritating, but a miraculous, really, position in history. I think how things are coming to a head, and we don't know how it's going to go.
No, you cannot. Maybe 10, 20 years ago, you could imagine or think about it a little bit how it would end. One day this war will end or that thing will end. But now it's too much at the moment. We have Russia, we have Syria, we have the whole Middle East, you can say. We have Libya destroyed. The US has a color revolution. Countries like the Netherlands, also a color revolution. Germany is still a little strong, but you have the right extremists in the eastern part of Germany who are now against the Black Lives Matter. It's France, what's going on in France. It's a disaster. So we're heading for, you don't know, you cannot see the end of it.
No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in France now, actually. Our news reporting in the UK is not very good. It does cover up, really, the Gilets jaunes, the yellow vest protests that were very prominent, I think maybe a year ago. The powers that be, they don't like the people to uprise and the French.
No. Black Lives Matter, it's okay, but not other groups, because they're not funded, That's the problem, Like in the Netherlands, we had Black Lives Matter demonstration in The Hague. Oh, it's okay. Police, no problem. They can go. First one was in Amsterdam. 5,000 people during the lockdown or the end of the lockdown. It's terrible, but okay. They behaved very good. And okay, no problem. Next week, another group against the virus. They said we're going to have also a demonstration because we can do it. And no, it was not allowed because there was a problem for the health, the health risk, you can say. So now they fight each other because the one group says yes, but they were allowed to go. We are not allowed to go, and it's crazy. But Black Lives Matter, okay, we know it's funded, and the other group is just the people. So why do you let the people demonstrate against your lockdown? No, you won't do that. And what they did is they said, yes, but also it's very dangerous because we have these soccer hooligans and they will destroy everything. And they did, but there were police they were staged by police. They were said, come on, try to disrupt this demonstration. And we had pictures of that. We have videos of that. So it's crazy situation. Never happened in the Netherlands. We were a tolerant, good country. And now it's completely destroyed. So that's what I mean. There's no end. Where is the end? There is no end, I think. I hope. But how? How will it end? I don't know. It's difficult.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for me, the most important thing facing us humans is food.
Yeah.
So from some of the broadcasters or alternative news commentators, I'm very interested and I follow those who are looking at the weather changes, which of course is the opposite to what we are told by the media, as in the carbon dioxide, all of that nonsense. It's the planet isn't heating up, and I think 1 year, 2 year, the world is going to enter a Maunder minimum, or a kind of ice age type scenario of a I don't know how long it will last, and people who follow it don't know, but just very cold for 3 years. No, sorry, 30 years.
30 years, something like that in the Middle Ages.
40, yeah, so...
Yeah, I read it too, yeah, I read it, yeah. But you know, there's a good documentary. He's a Dutch film producer, alternative, of course. I will send the link later. And he did some investigation about climate change. So he went to some universities. He spoke with people who said, yes, we are going to have it. Other people said no. At the end, he came in Stockholm, in Sweden, and he spoke with a professor of physics or whatever. He did some investigation about, I don't know exactly how it is, but it's about the oil. They always tell us, oh, in 20, 30 years, it's finished. You know, we don't have any oil left. But this professor, he has a method that he can do something that the oil is still coming. And he told him, and if you leave the oil well for maybe 20 years, the oil will come again. It's no problem. We have enough oil, but they don't want it because they want all these things, you know, electrical cars and so on and so on. This is what they want because it's profit. It has nothing to do with the real climate change. Climate change we have all the time. The earth is changing, the climate is changing. So it's a very good documentary. It's in English and it's a little bit of German, but it's very good. So it's a hoax again. It's profit, you know, profit for the big companies.
Yeah, it's true. And it's slightly embarrassing for me. In a way, I'll just get something to show you.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Electrical car. It's still now in your
trying to see
electrical hybrid. Yes, I can see it. Yeah, yeah.
This was my first proper job.
Okay.
selling the advertising in here.
Okay, for electrical and hybrid cars.
Electric and hybrid vehicle technology. Yeah.
Or maybe it's okay. It's when you don't know the background. It's okay. Maybe okay. It's okay to have an electrical car. Why not? But it's facing a lot of problems. What I heard, a few cars in a garage somewhere in I don't know which city in the Netherlands got fire because they're not safe as yet. You know? And then we have a problem here in Germany. Where can you find you know, there's no one here. There's only gas, oil, whatever. So it's not ready yet for this, I think.
Yeah, and I think the main problem actually with them is heat.
Uh-huh.
With a petrol car, you always have the heat from the engine coming into the car. But with electric cars, that isn't there.
No.
So it has to use the batteries to generate its own heat. So actually, in very cold weather, they don't work very well.
No, that's what I heard. Yeah.
I think there's a few problems with them. Certainly, as we move into a colder climate, but like everything at this time, because we see the media in the wrong direction, telling everyone everything's going to get very hot. No one can actually prepare properly or get the right things they need.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what they tell us But I know, okay, we have a few summers where it was hot, but this summer here in Germany is terrible. For instance, it's cold, it's raining.
Oh yeah. I think 2 weeks ago in England, we had one day, maybe 2 days, where it was hot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember we're joking with people. Well, that one day, that was our summer.
Yeah, like here in Germany, 2 days maybe, and then that's it. Now we have rain. It's unbelievable. If you think about it. But as I said, the propaganda is so terrible, really, if you think about it. And the more you read it and the more you know, then sometimes you have to read something else. Getting too much.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. But so on that note, what is it you are working on at the moment? Or
I just wrote an article. Will be coming. It's about we have here. We have a lot of so-called terrorists from Assad in Germany. And they came with the refugees, and because the rebels, the terrorists, are the good ones, and the ones who are supporting the Assad government or the Syrian people, I would say, they are the Frankenstein, child abusers, child murderers, and so on. And now they catch a man, was already last year, and supposedly he is he was from the Mubarak, the Mujahid, not the Mujahideen, the Secret Service of Syria. And he came with the refugees, and now, okay, they caught him because one refugee said, yes, but he was the killer, he tortured people in prison, and so they put him now on trial. It's a fake trial, of course. And this is what's happening, and every day you see it on the TV, so I'm working on it, who is this man? What did he do actually? As far as I can find out, what he did. But the evidence is unbelievable. The white helmets, all this. That's what my latest article is. But I'm still in. Sometimes I have some Zoom webinar with the Schiller Institute. Maybe you know it.
No, I don't. No.
It's what actually. It was from Lyndon LaRouche. He was an ex-congressman in the US, and he married someone in Germany. He's dead already. And they made an institute about geopolitics, and yet what actually they say that we are now at the crossroads. What they want, what they see, their vision is for the world, and a lot of times Russia, China are participating, from the UN or whatever, and it's quite interesting how they see the view of the world, so I'm keeping track with that, what they actually think the world should be. They want not to take over the world, because Russia and China never want that. They want a new path for the world where they really help Africa. Europe is not helping Africa, they're robbing Africa. But they are really putting projects there, like when they in Europe say, it's the Chinese, it's crazy, they want all their money, but they make good projects. And Russia is also doing the same thing, and they want a health system for the whole world, which is difficult, but their views are like that. So I think when there's a solution, should come from China and Russia. It's my opinion. But okay, I don't like the authoritarian state. Maybe it's China. Yes, okay, I know what's going on there, but I think the future is China and Russia, because Europe is falling apart.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. And I remember having that thought a year, 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. And just really from what I'd read historically, I could see actually, yes, okay, the West has lost now. China, Russia will take over. And I kind of very naively thought, okay, well, that's where it goes. We've had it. The West has it. So now it's your turn, Russia, China. So you can take over. And I thought it would just be really stupid. I just thought the West would go, okay, well, here you go. You go now. But no, oh my God, no. This goes on and on.
Yeah. But I think they, China, economically, they're very high, the standards is, more than in Europe. Everything comes from China. Not anymore, maybe, but it used to be. But I think Europe is mixed up in so many things. Black Lives Matters, LGBT, refugees, stupid what they do. It's a mix, and they forget actually their own Europeans who live here. Yes, okay, we can have our choice from the extreme right parties, maybe, but it's hopeless. I used to be a member of the Dutch Socialist Party. I was even in, you call that a province, we have 12 provinces in the Netherlands. Okay. I was in one province. And then I went to Syria in 2015. I was invited by the Syrian government to speak with them, and they showed me everything with other members. And when I came back, I had a choice. Oh, okay, you now went to speak with a regime, so you can either excuse and tell them that what you have seen is terrible, the lies. I should tell the lies. Or when you tell the truth, okay, that's it, go. You can leave the party. So I left the party.
Oh, wow.
But that's how it works also. So it's unbelievable. But okay, I said, okay, if I'm not allowed to tell the truth anymore, then why am I here? What am I doing here, Supposedly I should report what I have seen. And was not allowed. But that's the incompetence of the politicians in Europe and the people. Yeah, they get this huge propaganda, and it's difficult for some people to see the truth. They are brought up with newspapers and Dutch or maybe English news sites like the BBC, and okay, that was reliable, and they keep focused on this, but it's no future for this. It's no future. So there was one Dutch comedian, but he meant it really seriously. He said, please, Russia, China, come. We are a crazy country with maybe 100 different opinions. Please come, maybe bomb us, bomb the news agencies, bomb the politicians, and come. It's so I think, oh wow, when a comedian is telling us this.
Yeah, it's good. That is the thing I like about comedy. And the attempts, I say attempts, that I have a go myself at comedy. So the last podcast I did last was interview with Larry and Paul, comics in England, and they did a really good sketch about I think it was every COVID briefing ever, or it was just mocking really the government kind of broadcast that they do, but done in a very clever way. And I think that's where sort of comedy does have a really important place.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Especially when things are so well, the times and are so difficult to understand, and
that's a problem. I think it's because you don't know really what is behind it. We try to discover, we do investigations, but the real cause, what was the real cause? Was it really a bioweapon? Was it really a virus that went out of the laboratory in some curious way? Or okay, we can all say maybe yes, okay, there was a virus, but it was not a very terrible virus like Ebola, for instance. You know, when people get Ebola, okay, they die instantly, maybe, I don't know, but maybe in a week or something. But
oh yeah,
you know, why they make such a hype about it? So they warn us as if the atomic bomb is falling, you know?
I know, and that I think that will. Well, I keep. It's the hope in me. I think that kind of the patheticness of this virus is will wake some people up to actually know it isn't actually that bad. It's not a proper zombie virus. It's not. You can't actually see it, but
I cannot see millions on the street here dying. You know.
But I think the best recent video I saw about it was on it was on sut.net. I can put a link to it, but I forget. It was the interview they did with the Corbett report.
Corbett report, yes, I follow her. Yeah, I follow him as well. Yeah.
That was really good interview. And because James Corbett, has been researching very efficiently for years on what is happening. So that was a great interview and very well worth watching. And he does pose some similar questions. Where's this going? What can we do? What I didn't like, I didn't like any of it, but I don't like the fact that I think he did point out and suggested that now that they have this, then their strategy will be waves. So it will come back to normal and then come back. So it will just keep coming and going. Just when you think everything's okay, you can get back to normal, then it's just like an evil magician with magic things and it pulls this out his sleeve.
The next one is coming. Yeah, I know. Because now they are going to, they are allowed to go on a holiday again or to fly inside Europe. And still, okay, you have to wear a mask and gloves and the whole thing. But now we have some slaughterhouses here in Germany, you know, for pigs and so on. Now they got all infected. All the slaughterhouses all of a sudden got infected. But another scientist, not a scientist, he is actually an opinion maker in the Netherlands. He was investigating this and he said, yes, of course, they have air conditioning there. People are crowded in one room. So, it's normal that the flu even will come and get you sick there. So, okay. But all these things are, for me, part of the big reset, you know, because we have to get rid of all the slaughterhouses. We have to get rid of meat. Okay, I'm not in favor of these big slaughterhouses because I think it's also, it's not very humane to put all these pigs together. But they do it, to do it now during the lockdowns or during the COVID-19. They try the slaughterhouses. Okay, maybe we should argue that they should be closing. And we should all be vegetarian, maybe. I don't know. But that's the aim again of Bill Gates, because he just opened a big vegetarian meat factory in the Netherlands. So here we go again. It's always, it's always Gates or the other ones coming into the picture. And that's suspicious. I mean, if he's really, his intentions were good at the beginning. I don't know him. But I mean, he is a Microsoft whiz kid. He should not be a doctor. He should not have his hobby vaccinating people or think about meat or whatever. He should go nicely, come to Microsoft and develop other things or whatever. But this is dangerous when people like him are going to, do all these things. It's too dangerous. And we see what is happening.
Yeah. I like the classic quote, why should anyone trust or believe the creator of the biggest virus computer operating system to then work in viruses? Just as in insane.
It is. It's insane. They should not allow to do it. And same with the Johns Hopkins University, sponsored, funded by the Rockefellers. Well, they were in the one business. Please stop with this nonsense, It's only the money, the money, the money. Follow the money. That's it.
Yeah, for now, follow the money, because I think a few have mentioned it in various places that it's not about money, it's actually about control. But okay, that sounds simple, and I don't think we really realize just the level of control that is wanted, but over absolutely every single detail of a human existence. One thing I like, I have to keep stopping my general phrases. Like, the funny thing is that phrase, because it isn't funny and it's not a thing I like. So, and now I'm just prattling and ranting. Yeah, we really don't know where it's going to go, but I can see that research, finding out the information for people, our listeners, everyone, it's just becoming essential to you to find the source of information and for everyone to find out the truth, if they can, of what is actually going on, who's behind it, and getting support that lots of people are waking up and are in the good team.
That's the important thing. That's why, like you keeping broadcasting, I'm keeping on writing, and that's what we must do. We must wake up the people, that okay, it's a lot of things they do, it's a hoax. The wars, the war on terror, COVID-19 partly is a hoax, and so on. And when people wake up and say, oh, okay, yeah, it's like that. Yeah, okay, I didn't know that. Then it's okay, I hope.
Oh yeah, we hope, but that's...
But I think there's we don't have too much people now. It's too little still. We need more, much more. They wake up, but it's, but it's like the younger ones. They are having their smartphone all day. Yeah, Spotify, YouTube, or whatever. Netflix, that's the big evil sometimes, Netflix, all the documentaries about the white helmets and so on.
Oh, yeah.
This is, the propaganda, was huge. It's unbelievable what they do.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I just want to thank you ever so much for the work that you do.
Thank you.
Because, it's a very important time. And so people like yourself who care enough to broadcast what is really happening, I think essential. So hats off to you.
Thank you very much.
No, I know you're welcome.
Everybody's duty. When you have children, maybe or whatever. What we said, we don't know where the world is going to end. How the world, not the world, but the people, where it's going to. So I think it's important to warn people or to let them know what is going on.
Yeah, we can try.
We can try. We can try. Yeah. Let's keep on trying.
Yeah. But till then, people can try and win an Everyman Radio mug and listen to some music that we broadcast. Sorry. Where can people find your articles?
On One WordPress, they can find it on my own website, freesyria.eu. If they go to freesyria.eu, they can find on the links you can find for all the websites I write for, like global research and so on. So you can find all the links there.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
No, thank you very much. So thank you very much, Sonja, for your time.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best of luck. And
Thank you. You too with your program. It's very important. Keep on going.
I know, it's lovely. It's lovely to hear, Sonja. And that's why I'm just so glad that we've had this conversation. It's lovely. It really is.
Okay.
And wish you all the best.
You too. Bye.
Thank you. Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Are you ready? I'm saying, are you ready?
Text EMR to 63333 to win an awesome Everyman Radio mug.
New music. There's something in the air. I can feel it coming on, like you
And now it's time for some hilarious comedy on Everyman Radio.
This fantastic Technogadgetbore show is proudly sponsored by webscontent.com. Fast, secure and reliable.
Fast, secure, and reliable web hosting from Web's Content.
Oh yeah. And welcome to the Technogadgetbore show. So, in today's show, I'm going to be unveiling from the MAST operating system who Tiger was. It was Apple. Of course. Oh, thank you. And, oh yeah, I'm not very happy with Apple at all. Terrible, terrible, terrible phones. I'm sorry if you bought one and paid far too much money on them. Crazy. And the reason is I've been doing chit-chatting on the video web chat and sharing pictures. And I have a friend. Yeah, I have a friend. Let's leave it there. And sharing pictures, but because she has an iPhone, she was unable to send me pictures of her, even of her beautiful face, because of the old iPhone she had. It needed to be updated or something. They always need updating. But it needed to be on the, not the Play Store, the Loser Store, the Apple Store, one of the stores. It actually needed, in order for the camera to work, it needed to be, have credit, have money in the Apple Store in order for the camera to work. Crazy. And yes, me and Mangan will make a great team, but it's still crazy. Oh, so I found a solution. You can be compatible. Yeah, the solution is for me to be compatible. The solution is very similar to one of the first videos that I did as Technogadgetbore in the new Technogadgetbore. And I will show you a clip or give you a link, something like that, and you will see. So, yeah, here it comes. And thank you for watching the Technogadgetbore show, and be sure to tune in next week, fortnight, something like that. Thank you for watching. Bye. This phone is made by Apple. And I do not want to be a slave to this phone. So I will put this phone in a bag. Okay, now the phone is in a bag, and I have a hammer. I'm not doing anything. So this is me not being a slave to my phone. And yes, so I am not a slave to my phone because I hit it with a hammer. For great more tips from Technogadgetbore, please tune in to the Technogadgetbore show. Thank you.
The Technogadgetbore Show, the tech podcast to help you upgrade your ZX Spectrum and Commodore 64.
Thank you for listening to Everyman Radio. If you enjoyed this episode, please share with your friends on social media.
Goodbye.